right, welcome to episode 2 of 94 feet. Now, the reason why we call it 94 feet, what's the length of the NBA court? 94 feet, right?
Yep.
Right. You feel me? I'm Jay. You want to tell the people your name and social security number?
It's Shane, the people's choice, the voice of the people,
Oh, my goodness.
the legend.
He's self-proclaimed people's champion. Nobody said this. This is him saying this himself.
I speak for the people, man.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get straight into the news. Harden. The Harden trade. How you feel about that?
Harden trade. Man, so when it comes to the Harden situation, the Harden saga, as you can call it, because, I mean, Harden is just always on the move. Yeah. But as far as this trade right here, honestly, I don't really know how it's going to work for the Clippers. I mean, I'm happy for the 76ers. Everybody's saying how they got, like, nothing in return.
Right.
Which, I mean, somewhat didn't, but they got rid of something that was a headache to the team. I feel like you can win just by getting rid of the cancer.
Right.
Like, so it's like it already turns out to be a healthier team, and they don't look bad. But now for the Clippers, obviously he hasn't played yet. I think the first game is going to be Tuesday or something. Next time they play Monday to Tuesday, something.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how that works. I don't really see how this is going to work with any team with Harden. I'm never sold on how it's going to work just because Harden is Harden. So I don't see how he makes that team really work. I don't know. We're going to see.
Yeah. He is from New York, everybody. So that's how you get that accent in there.
So automatically, I'm right. Automatically, I'm the voice of 8 million people in New York
listen,
City.
this is what I think about the Harden trade, right? So for one, there's going to be too many chefs in the kitchen. For one, I think they already like maxed out of how many chefs they got. So they got Russell Westbrook, ball dominant. Paul George, kind of ball dominant, but not really. Yeah. And Kawhi, he don't really need the ball, but I mean, you want to give Kawhi the ball. And now you add James Harden into that. Nah, man, this ain't gonna work. I think that actually the Sixers won this because they got rid of the cancer, like you were saying. They got rid of the cancer.
Exactly.
And
so now
they got a wing
the
defender.
Voice of the people. You already agreeing with me.
Listen,
you already agreeing with me. I already sold you.
Listen, and they got a wing defender over in the Sixers now with Robert Covington. That's where he was there before.
Yeah.
He can knock down the three. Yeah. He can guard the wing. So I think
you're not selling me when you say Robert Covington is the reason why a team won a trade.
I mean, it's not him, but I'm saying you're getting rid of a cancer.
Yeah.
You're better without him, and now you're adding another wing defender, which in the East, you're going to need some wing defenders, man. Like, especially you look at the Celtics, you look at Miami, you look at, because Tyler Hero been going crazy.
True.
Tyler Hero been going crazy. Yeah. But you're going to need wing defenders.
Yeah, you lost P.J. Tucker, though.
Yeah, but
so you lost a starter wing defender for a
but
backup.
PJ's like 40 years old. I'm not sold on PJ. I'm
still do his job well. I mean, he's not going to do anything offensively, but I mean, he does his job.
Listen, PJ Tucker, if you're talking about PJ Tucker, he's 40 years old, man. I'm not worried about PJ Tucker. If you tell me right now, would you take PJ Tucker or would you take Robin Covington? And they got
Tucker.
Nick Batum. Why would you take PJ Tucker?
See, now that's when you start saying
PJ
names like
Tucker is
when you start saying names like
on
Nicholas
offense.
Batum. That's when you start talking about, all right, now the 76ers want to trade. When you start by saying the Sixers want to trade by Robert Covington.
Well, that was the start of it. That was the start. The start was Robert Covington. And then you got Nick Batum. And then I don't know who else they had, but just those two right there, makes you win the trade. Plus, on top of that, you got rid of the cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I think the Sixers won this trade 100%.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go back, you said PJ Tucker over Robert Covington. Again, PJ Tucker is he do play bigger than, but he's 40 years old.
True, but all right, what was the last thing that Robert Covington did? It's crazy that we're talking about the Harden trade, and then we go to Robert Covington. First of all, I forgot he was even in the trade.
That's a big piece,
He didn't really do, like, was he playing for the Clippers? Like, was he in the lineup at all?
No, he was coming off the bench.
I don't even remember even seeing him.
Well, I mean, he was coming off the bench. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I think the Sixers won that one.
I agree with you that the Sixers probably won it, but not 100%. I think they slightly
So
won
what's your
it.
percentage there that the Sixers won?
The reason why I say it's still close, it's still like neck and neck.
The
Pause.
neck and neck.
Yeah.
The most I give you is 70%.
Somewhat. It's
Sixers.
because even though James Harden is a cancer, he still can help that team out in ways that I feel like Nicholas Batum probably couldn't.
The Sixers?
Help the Clippers out.
Oh, you say
Sorry. Helping the Clippers for the simple reason that with Kawhi being the team leader of the Clippers, I feel like James Harden will be less likely to step on his toes than he was with Joel.
You
'Cause I feel like Joel's a little bit
less
softer.
likely to step on toes.
Or step on Kawhi's toes than he was to step on
Right. So
Joel's.
Kawhi toes. So let me tell you this. Did you just hear what he said? He said, I am not a system
I am the
player.
system.
I am the system.
I am the system, right?
That statement right there says, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna mess up everything.
Nah.
They already got a system over there.
He got to.
And
But
he's
the thing
talking
is,
about I'm coming in. That's like the Jay-Z line. I'm not a businessman. I'm
a businessman.
Right. But he's not Jay-Z. is
no,
what I'm
there's
telling
no
you.
way. I
He's
get where
gonna
you're
mess
coming
up
from with
everything up
that.
there.
But I feel like with the 76ers, he had to go in there and be that number 2 guy, be Joel's Batman. I mean, to be the Robin to Joel's Batman. But I feel like in this situation here, it's a little bit different. Like he's going to a team that's a little bit more established that have 2 guys. I feel like with Paul George, I don't think Paul George is going to come in there and let him.
2 guys that need the ball.
Yeah, but I feel like James Harden in this situation, I think when you got Kawhi on the team, I think you got to know going there, all right, I'm straight off the bat, I'm Robin. Like, and the
This
thing is,
dude's-
PG right now, so far this season, PG is Batman.
Yes.
Right now,
He
PG
averages
is
what,
Batman.
27 points? Yeah,
28 points per game. I think
27,
Kawhi
28,
averaging 23.
I give you
So
that.
right now, Paul George, first of all, he's coming into the season with a vendetta.
All of
So,
that is going to go down the way.
Nah, not really. Not as like you think it's going to be as fast as like it's going to just drop super fast. I don't think so. I think the thing about PG and Kawhi, they're a little bit different than Joel. Like Joel is a little bit softer. Like he's not that kind of guy that's going to be like, even though he's an
feel
MVP, number 1 point per game scorer, he wasn't in the same position as James. These guys are the same. They're going to be like, hey, it's different.
Right.
Like it's a different game we play here. I don't think Joel is that type. He's not super controversial, even though Kawhi doesn't say much. But you just know, I'm not going to mess with Kawhi because he don't say much. And PG is on his rampage of like, y'all going to stop disrespecting me. I think that's why he coming out the gates a little bit hotter this year. Like PG is going to average 25 plus this year, which he hasn't done in the last couple seasons with the Clippers. I'm telling you, PG is different this year.
But Harden is going to come mess all that up. That's what I'm telling you right now.
He going to mess
How
it up
is
to
PG
some
gonna
degree.
average 25 points if he doesn't have the ball?
Because you're gonna shoot that many times. Like PG
He's-
is not.
he's
It's the
not
same
gonna
way.
be able
It's
to
the same
shoot.
way when Kevin Durant came to the Warriors and Clay was like, "I'm still gonna average my 20." And he still averaged pretty much the same number. I think he dropped 1 more point per game. But if you look at his field goal attempts, he still shot like the same amount of shots. He was one of those dudes that's like, all right, even though you come
don't
here,
see it, man.
I'm still gonna get my buckets.
I don't see it.
I feel like with PG, he still maybe Kawhi. I feel like may not take as many shots until like it's needed. I feel like something about PG is going to take the same amount. The same way with Curry.
Let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
What's the difference between Russell Westbrook and James Harden? What on the court?
What's the
What
difference?
do they do differently?
Well, first of all,
None of them play defense.
Russell
they
Westbrook
both-
plays way more defense.
I
than,
mean, he played the passing lanes. I give him that. He played the passing
but
lanes.
it's not about playing. It's about he plays with more intensity. So his defense may even come across a little bit more like
Just
aggressive.
because it's aggressive doesn't mean it's good.
It's going to work on more people. Like I can have somebody that don't know how to play defense, and if he looks like I don't really want to be here, I'm gonna take more advantage of him rather than a person that look like they locked into the game that don't know how to play defense, but he locked into the game. I'm gonna go at him a little bit less. You get what I'm saying? If a guy just look like he only want to play offense, I'm gonna attack him first than a guy that maybe be a little bit more scary. I feel like Russell Westbrook, he's gonna give more heart. than Harden will.
Well, yeah,
So
absolutely.
even if he messes up, at least he's going to chase the rebound. Like Harden's going to give up on the play. He's going to let you buy him, and he's not going to hustle for the board.
I get
So
you,
that
man.
is a difference right there. He's not going to hustle for it.
I know, but as far as facilitating, Harden wants to facilitate, Russ wants to facilitate. And you know what happened? Russ and LeBron, when Russ was over with the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Russ was over with the Lakers. You know what happened? You know why it didn't work? Because LeBron and Russ are the exact
Do the same thing.
They do the exact same thing. It's the same thing with Harden. Russ been running from Harden for the past how
chasing
many
him too.
teams now? He's been running, and the dude keeps coming back. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work, man.
I don't think it's going to work, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as you probably think it's going to be.
So do you think you think PG is gonna stay hot the whole year?
I think PG is still going to put up, he's still going to be dominant as far as like, he going to have the mentality to still be dominant. Like, I feel like he going to have that same type of mindset. So you think about that Warriors trade, right? I mean Warriors situation when KD came and Curry stopped shooting as much. KD stopped shooting as much, but Clay kept shooting the same amount. Who was the best person on the team? Curry, right? But he took down his game a little bit. Klay Thompson wasn't the best player on that Warriors team, but he was like, I'm still going to shoot. The same way with Kawhi. Kawhi's probably going to shoot a little bit less, but PG is going to be the Klay Thompson in that situation that says, hey, I got something to prove. Kawhi has less to prove as like Curry. I feel like they both are like, all right, I don't have to prove. They're in the same kind of bracket where it's like, I don't have to prove as much, so I don't mind taking a few less shots. But PG is the same way as Klay. Like, all right, y'all not going to forget about me. I'm going to make sure my numbers still stay the same. I'm going to still look the same. I think that's why PG is averaging more points than Kawhi this year. Because Kawhi is obviously better, but PG is averaging more points because he's like, all right, I have something to prove.
Right, and you throw somebody in the mix that's gonna too many chefs in the kitchen, man. That's all it is. Too many chefs in the kitchen.
So I'm agreeing with you. Remember, I think it's gonna be bad, but it's not gonna be as bad as you probably think it is.
I don't know about that one.
Like, I think you think it's gonna be like a 3. I think it's gonna be like a 5. Like, it's gonna work some nights. It's gonna be some nights where it don't work, but it's gonna work some nights. It's gonna work well.
The one person that this really hurt was Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I think it hurts him the most.
I think it hurts. I think it hurt. That's why he was trying to get away from Harden.
Yeah, because he started off the season, he in a little bit of a groove. Like, he looks like he has his love back for the game, and I feel like it's going to affect him the most. I think PG's going to look at it as, hey, remember, we all from Cali, we all know each other, we all grew up for each other.
Down,
and that's going to be the scary part. But the thing is, it helps when it's not the best person on the team / second best person in a team that you really have to worry about more. Like, I'd rather have to worry about Russell than worry about Paul George, because a guy like Paul George is the deciding factor on how far they go. Because you know what you're going to get from Kawhi. Paul George was always the one that's like, all right, what are we really? We need him to be. If he's going to be Robin, we need him to be Robin. This year, he's like, hey, I'm going for Batman. And that's where you want PG. You want PG to play like I'm the number one option. Because if he plays like that and Kawhi plays like that, they look good. Russ, that is the concern.
I can't wait until we have a meme of Russ getting mad at Harden. I can't wait. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So let's move on to the next topic. So we was talking before we started recording, and Shane couldn't be more wrong with this topic. I mean, he said everybody but the right answer, right? So the question is, who's the most dangerous when they're hot? Like, when they're on and they're going crazy, you know, who's the most dangerous when hot? Well, let's hear your wrong answer first, and then I'm going to tell you the right answer. So go ahead.
Most dangerous when they're hot, all right? So I have a couple people, then I'm going to choose who my number one is. Okay. I'm going to have the people that I'm like, are runner-ups. So runner-ups, you got to have D-Book. I feel like he's between 1 and 2, but I'm going to give him the slight runner-up because Book, even though he only played 2 games this year, he looks dangerous, and he's carrying the same kind of mindset I think he did in the playoffs last year when they were playing the Nuggets. Like, you saw a different Book. Like, he was carrying KD. And I love KD, but KD is really passive. So I like Book because that game when they were playing the Spurs the other night and they were down by 27, Book was the reason they came back and tied the game, and then Wemby kind of started going crazy. But it was Book, so I give Book. He's crazy when he's hot. You got a guy like Tyler Herro, who's nasty. He's been looking good so far this season.
He's saying Tyler Herro right now. Do you hear the most dangerous?
At the first 6 games of the season.
Listen, he's from Wisconsin, so I give him that. I give you that he's from Wisconsin. But come on, man.
Dangerous when he's hot. First games in the season. We talking about 23, 24 season.
Though?
He putting up numbers. You got Luka, who's amazing, but my number one option, who's the most dangerous when they're hot, is going to be whoever you choose to like put up there. I'm gonna still go Curry. If a guy can drop 7 threes on you at any given moment, he's 35 years old. I'm still gonna go with Curry, the most dangerous when they're hot.
Listen, that's
I'm the voice of the people. I'm spoken. I've spoken. I want to hear who you got.
Listen, Curry is a good choice.
I've been waiting on this,
but that's wrong, buddy.
I gotta.
Curry is a good choice, but that's wrong. Let me tell you who's number one. He didn't even mention. He mentioned Tyler Herro in the most dangerous.
As far the start of this year, right now,
Tyler Herro is the most dangerous. Damian Lillard is the most dangerous when he's hot. Let me tell you why. Yep. You said this year, right? This year. Dame Lillard, 71-point game. This year. I mean, it was last year, but this
you're talking about 23 calendar year.
23 calendar year.
Okay, then I'll take Tyler Herro out. Then if we talking about calendar year,
now we got to. That's who you pick. You said Tyler.
I'm still saying Curry's number one.
You still saying Curry?
I'm still saying Curry's
number one. How is Tyler Herro even in there, man? I don't even know.
I thought we were talking about the beginning of this season because he's actually been doing decent to start this off because Butler's playing like trash.
He's all right.
But if we talking about just in general, and I'm going Curry. Like, I love Dame. I'm representing for the Bucks.
Listen, Curry.
I'm a big Dame fan, but it's going to be Curry. It's going to be the guy that can give you 4 rings.
Curry as a good choice, but it's wrong. I mean, I get why somebody would pick Curry, but let me break this down.
All right, break it down.
Dame 71-point game.
All right.
Curry has never had a 71-point game. He has 62. Never. He had 62-point game, right? Dame, just this calendar year, 71-point game. Mm-hmm. He has 2 61-point games. Yeah. So that's 1 point behind Curry's highest game, right? And then he has 2 60-point games. One of those 60-point games, guess when that happened? It happened this calendar year too. So he got a 60 under his belt this calendar year. He got a 71-point game this calendar year. And he has 2 61-point games, which is Curry's highest.
I can't wait to break this down.
Which is Curry's highest, though.
To break this down.
Check me out.
Yeah.
All those games, he averaged at least 5 assists. Or he had at least 5 assists.
Okay.
In everyone. So he's not just, well, obviously he's just scoring, but he's dishing too.
Okay.
So you got to worry about him passing and flaming you. That's crazy. Now, Austin Rivers, you know where I'm going with this. Austin Rivers prayed.
Yeah, I remember that.
Nobody ever prayed that Curry. Listen, nobody ever prayed that Curry missed. Nobody. Well, okay, you probably right. You're probably right on this one.
Visual.
People pray. People
right in
pray.
front of you. Yeah.
But this dude, Austin Rivers, prayed that Damian Lillard.
I remember that.
And that's what I'm saying. This dude is hot. He's pause. He's this dude. I'm trying to tell you, he's the most dangerous when it's hot.
All right.
And you said the start of the season, 40-point game on a new team. This is a new team.
Yeah.
39, but 39 is 40. 40-point game. Man. This is what I say. You're wrong.
This hurts.
Right? And let me tell you this. Yeah. Last point.
Uh-huh. Ooh,
how many threes you think Curry ever hit in the game? His highest? Oh, don't worry, I'll tell you. 13. 13, right?
Right behind Clay with 14. Clay got the record, right?
I don't know who got the record, but we're talking about Curry right now. Your pick, because I knew that's where you was going, right? So he had the highest 13. Mm-hmm. How many do you think Dame is?
Probably around that same number.
13.
Okay.
So they both got 13. But when Dame hit 13, he had a 71-point game. Or a 61-point game.
Okay.
Curry hit 13. He only had a 46-point game. Dame is the most dangerous when he's hot.
This is where one more.
Hold on. My fault. I forgot about this.
Go for it.
And it's not that he'll just light you up. He'll close the game too.
Okay.
He can light you up and close the game. Can Curry, who's the better closer?
All right.
Dame is the most clutch player since 2012. Look it up.
I'll give you that.
Look it up.
Now, this is where... All right, so this is where it gets a little heartbreaking because I hate having to defend against Dame. First of all, because Dame is one of my favorite players. Shout out Weber State.
He said he one of his favorite players.
One of my favorite players. So now I gotta.
He this is Tyler Hero.
This is what hurts having to. This is what hurts having to go against Dame, and prove why Curry's got it. So first off, Dame has to have numbers like that when you play for the Blazers, and you don't have any help. You gotta have numbers like that. Curry doesn't really have to drop 70 points. Because, I mean, you got a guy that has 4 rings. He doesn't really have to put up numbers like that. You put Curry on the Blazers, I guarantee he has more of those nights because he has to.
I guarantee.
When you have a guy like Klay, you don't really. When you have a guy that can drop 60 points in a game off 11 dribbles, why do you need to drop 70?
That's fair.
When have Dame ever played with a guy that dropped 60? Dame has never played with a guy that can off 11 dribbles.
But you know what, Dame? I think, well, they're about neck and neck. But if you look at the Warriors' offense, is that offense more of a system or is it more of...
It's more of a system.
It's more of a system.
Yeah. So that's why Curry doesn't have to drop 70 because it's a system.
When he
has to break away from the system...
Which one is hard? Dame has to have the ball.
Exactly. So you're going to drop 70.
Have the ball in order for him to score 70.
Okay.
Right? Curry can run around until he's open and then catch and shoot.
But you act like Curry can't pull up the same type of shots that Dame does. He just doesn't have to.
I feel that. I'm not saying.
So his game is to run around and do all that stuff. I mean, obviously, they're both like right here. So it's like if anybody wanted to speak and say, "Hey, there's no full wrong answer," but you got to remember,
no, there is a wrong answer, and Curry is the wrong answer. It's a great answer, but it's wrong.
But the thing is about Dame, right? And this is, I hate having to like take like jab at Dame and kind of talk about his game because I love his game. But when it comes to this, you think about Curry, right? And you think about Dame. You think about most dangerous from there. How many times have Curry done it in the playoffs? Turn on what they used to call it, the Curry flurries or something like that. When he used to just start going crazy. I think you start to forget about it because he then won
the third quarter. He won
some series.
No.
He won some series off of these Curry flurries.
Yeah,
and willed them to wins. Whereas Dame, I hate poking at his game, but when has Dame, how many rings does Dame have?
Yeah, he doesn't. He can't have the rings because he doesn't have a guy that can score 60 with 11 dribbles.
Exactly. All right. So that's why you don't
if you put Dame into Steph Curry, they don't win 4 rings?
No.
Come on, man.
They don't win 4 rings.
They don't win 4
rings. They don't win 4 rings. He may get a
run around and shoot the same shots that Steph can shoot?
Different. It's different.
I don't believe it, man.
It's different. Like, as good as Dame is, you know how hard, like, this is the reason why Curry is who he is. How he can run around, do all that. His endurance, his stamina, all that stuff is crazy.
Dame do that
Dame
too.
has it. But Dame, it's hard to play off ball. It's hard. You know how smart you got to be able to get in these situations? Like, think about it. Curry has been doing this for so long. It makes it looks like, oh, anybody can just do this, but he's made his game that way.
Check me out.
All right.
The Warriors would have more rings if they had Dame on the team. Let me tell you why.
Oh, man.
Because
you're losing this, man.
Curry isn't as durable as Dame Lillard is. The reason why the Warriors didn't go to the finals some of those years or 2 years ago, Curry got hurt.
What happened to Dame last year? He was hurt, and then the year before that, he missed like a whole bunch of time.
That's 1 year. That's what I'm saying. That's 1 year.
No, he missed like a good amount of the 2021-2022 season, and then 2022-2023 season, he was actually doing good, and they just sat him. He missed a lot of games that year, but they sat him out the last couple because they weren't going to make the playoffs, so they just rested him. But it was that year, Curry, besides the first couple years when he had the ankle issues.
Bingo.
And then he figured it out.
Right here.
And then he figured it out.
Thank you for proving my point. The ankle issues, how many years did he have these ankle issues? I just saw the Steph Curry documentary.
He had a couple years. And then what happened when he came back? He started winning rings because he got hot. Like when he in those playoffs series when he just come out, and I remember he lit Dame up in one of them series, and that's when he started shimmying.
I believe
he started shimmying on my
it.
boy Dame. I hate to do it to you, Dame.
I believe
but he started shimmying, and that's when he did the whole "I'm back" because he was a little injured, and then he came back in that series and started lighting them up.
So Curry's first few seasons, he had injury.
He had the ankle problems.
You know, Dame's first few seasons, he made the playoffs. Not only did he make the playoffs, he was sending the Rockets home. He hit.
I remember. I won money off of that game.
He's hitting clutch shots. So imagine that and the Warriors. So the Warriors missed out on a few rings because Curry Curry couldn't stay healthy.
Nah, I somewhat agree.
I'm just saying, man.
But they were not the same team.
Kinda.
The first couple years, like Clay was just trying to come in. Like bro had LaMarcus Aldridge. He had Nicholas Batum. Like he had leaders. It was different.
Who, Dame? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Dame had LaMarcus Aldridge, so he came in there with a guy who was an established star. Curry didn't come into the league with an established star.
Well, he had Monte Ellis, but
who are you taking? If you building a team, you taking Monte Ellis or you taking LaMarcus Aldridge?
I get you on that one.
And so I think that was the difference. Like that series that he won that and hit that game-winning shot against the Rockets, he had LaMarcus Aldridge on that team.
Yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge.
And then LaMarcus Aldridge left him, and then he had to go. Okay, all right. I'm the best person here. I got to have these 60-point games, these 70-point games.
70-point games.
He had to go crazy and have those games.
But we still can't take that away from him just because his team is weak.
Think about it. How many times did Curry have 50 and they rested him in the fourth because they were blowing teams out? So on those nights where Curry was dropping 50, even the night when Clay dropped 60.
That's not Dame's fault.
I understand. But the reason why he's able to get 70 is because he probably played the fourth quarter in that game. Curry had countless 50-point games that he just sat. Think about that 2016 season where he just sat because they were blowing teams out.
Yeah.
The 73-9, like they were blowing teams out. So he had 50 points on so many nights, and they just sat him, or 40, a high 40.
That's
but
not
the thing
Dame's
is,
fault.
You saying about who gets crazy when they're hot. Curry was the reason he got hot and put him up by 30. Because he was so hot that he just sat.
Yeah, he put him up by 30 when they already had Kevin Durant on the team. And they got a
before
guy
KD
that can
came,
drop
he
60.
stopped dropping those 60-point, high 50-point games when KD came.
Do you think it's the reason why Curry only has one Finals MVP, which is he just got?
First of all,
maybe because he wasn't the best person on his team.
You can't. All right. First of all, he should have two.
He wasn't the best person on his team.
How many does Dame have?
Dame doesn't have any.
Is it all right? But
again,
all right,
he
no,
doesn't play with one of the most.
All right, this is where we get crazy. All right, the Iguodala Finals MVP.
Are you gonna pull the Clay?
Should he have won?
You gonna pull the Clay? Okay.
No. Should Iguodala have won that Finals MVP over Curry that year?
Listen.
Please tell me.
Listen.
They gave.
I'm not at liberty to say who.
No, your actual thoughts. We're gonna bring it out here. Actual thoughts.
I'm not at liberty to say.
All right, we got to answer this question. People want you to answer this question.
Listen, Iguodala was holding LeBron.
He averaged a triple double, bro. They gave it to him because he stopped LeBron and made LeBron shoot like 41%.
Listen.
He averaged 35, 12, and 12 or something like that. And they gave bro the MVP because he didn't average 50. But Curry averaged 27 to 28 that series. Like,
listen.
No. So,
it's a
your honest
reason
thoughts
they
right
gave
here.
it to Iguodala. It's a
Lie
reason
detector.
they gave it to Iguodala.
Put it here. Who do you think should have won MVP that year? Finals MVP.
We got to move on. We got to move on.
No, right here. Who do you think should have won MVP that year?
You know who I think should have won MVP that year? The person who got it. Andre Iguodala.
Your honest thoughts. If you had to go back and choose, you think you giving it to Iguodala?
Andre Iguodala. He was a monster. I mean, obviously, because they
letting the dude average a triple-double on him. They just gave it to him because LeBron didn't average 50. I never seen a more stupid reason to give somebody an award to say, hey, we're going to give it to you because bro could have averaged 50, but he averaged 35 triple-double.
Listen, Curry didn't do enough. Curry didn't do enough.
He was the reason why they won. So, all right, you take Iguodala out and you take Curry out. All right, you take that Warriors team and you take Iguodala away.
Listen,
What's
I
more
feel what
valuable?
you're saying.
Or you take Curry out and you leave
But-
Klay Thompson, Iguodala, and Draymond Green.
Listen, they voted.
They getting
man.
swept.
They voted. Finals MVP.
They getting swept. Think about it. No Curry or no Iguodala. Which team makes it the furthest? The one without Iguodala or the one without Curry?
Listen, I can't.
Yeah, the people. This is why I'm the voice of the people. This is why I'm the voice of the people.
He got 4 rings.
This is
And
why I'm the
only
voice
one,
of the people.
If Dame Lillard got 4 shots, or if Dame Lillard got 4 rings,
Notice how he said
he would
if.
have.
Notice how he said if.
Yeah, he don't have.
I love you, Dame, but it's the
he
reason
never
why
played
you've never
with KD.
been.
He never played with KD, and he never played with Klay Thompson. Of
Right.
course, he played. You get LaMarcus Aldridge and Jeremy Grant. You're not gonna win anything. But if Curry,
Don't forget about CJ. There was a year they had CJ,
yeah,
and
but
they
CJ is the same.
who's better, CJ or Clay?
Klay Thompson. Easy.
All right, I'll give you that. Just because
Klay
defensive
Thompson is
reason.
easy. Klay Thompson's easy.
All right,
That's
I'll
an
give you
easy
that.
one. That's an easy one.
But he's not super far away.
I think he's not super far away.
I don't think he's super far away.
It's more closer than what I'm thinking. Okay, yeah, it's not. But
'Cause
Klay is better.
There was a year that
Klay is
they
better.
played each other in the playoffs. The Blazers and the Warriors matched up, and I don't remember Dame going that crazy. He didn't go that crazy that year. I remember Curry. I remember them doing like the Curry flurries and all that stuff, and it was a situation where he hit something crazy, and he hit the "I'm back"
I believe
little
it.
strut because
I believe it. Still only got 1 Finals MVP. So
Should have
let's talk
to.
about Dame, right? So we was just talking about Dame. You know, the most dangerous one is hot. So Dame is on the Bucks now. Now the Bucks, they're 3-2.
all right. Yep.
But the whole media is making this to be some crazy, like, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Are you concerned with the Bucks right now?
All right, so I have a
They do
double
kinda look
answer on
garbage.
it, right? A double answer on this, right? So 3-2. My honest thoughts is I didn't expect them to look amazing from the start. I think a lot of people, if you're not people who aren't NBA fans or real basketball fans or real knowledgeable of the game, it's the reason why we speak for the people.
Right.
It's the reason why we here talking. It's because we know the game. And I think when you know the game, you're not really that concerned because
Right.
you're expecting it. Like I remember looking at it, and they expected it too. I remember Giannis saying like, "Hey, it's gonna take some time. Like we're gonna lose games that we should win."
Yeah.
And I think when you play the Raptors and you're losing by 25, 20,
game was
30 points
ugly.
against the Raptors,
It looked ugly. Yeah, that one looked ugly.
They got blown out on their losses. They got blown out. They got blown out to the Hawks and they got blown out to the Raptors. And those are 2 teams you should not get blown out by.
Right.
And the games that they won against, they won the games that they should have had closer, or those should have been a blowout games. Like I think if they're going to lose against anybody, if you think the Hawks or the 76ers, like the 76ers are obviously a better team. So I would have thought the 76ers would have did it, or I would have thought the Miami Heat, because the Heat just has their number for some reason. Even though Bam didn't play that night, the Heat for some reason has the number on those good teams like the Celtics, the Bucks. Like some reason they just get a little shaky. And the Knicks not a bad team, right? But the fact that they lost against the Raptors and they were getting blown out, and then you got blown out by the Hawks. There's a reason why I'm not concerned too much when I talk about this situation, because those are nights where you feel like, oh, we got these in the bag. And then those are nights where you try to start tweaking things with your offense to play around with a little bit more to figure out, all right, we're going to practice with these teams. And we get blown out, all right, we just got blown out, we look bad. But the game against the Knicks, the Heat, and the 76ers, these are possible playoff matchups. So we're going to play a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why they won those games, because all those games, even though they were blowing the Heat out, it started getting close again, and they had to close the deal. They closed it on the 76ers, they closed on the Heat, and they closed on that Knicks game.
Dame
right?
closed.
But, I mean, people got to play
Dame
defense.
closed.
But people got to play.
I
They won as a
understand.
team, even though – but these are even Dame, because Dame plays for the Bucks. So I'm going to say this is the situation. That's why I'm not super duper concerned, is because they're winning the games against the teams that they may play in the playoffs. So they're figuring out, okay, all right, Raptors, we may play around. They lost in Toronto. Toronto, I mean, team's going to play better at home. I'm still like, man, they shouldn't have lost. They shouldn't have got blown out. But those are the games where you're like, they probably won't make it to the playoffs. So if we're going to start playing around with our offense a little bit, these are the games to do it. But when it's time to play against real teams, we're going to win those games. So I'm not super duper concerned.
Right. I'm with you on this one. I'm not concerned. Listen, we played 5 games. 5 games. That's 6%. I just did the math. 6% of the season. Yeah, and everybody's calling for Coach Griffin to get fired. I've been seeing stuff on Twitter. Coach Griffin get fired.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like, this man played 5 games. Yeah. It's not like we're 0-5.
This is first time head coaching too. Exactly. So you got to let him get some time to figure it out as well.
We're not 0-5. We're 3-2.
Still got a winning record.
We still got a winning record. What? I don't understand why people are relaxing. Our talent alone is gonna get us to the playoffs. I don't really. Regular season is cool, and I enjoy watching basketball. But for the Bucks, get me to the playoffs healthy. Mm-hmm. That's all I need. Get me to the playoffs healthy and through the playoffs healthy. You do that, I could care less about I don't even know when it was. A Wednesday night Atlanta Hawk game, us getting blown. Nobody cares about that. You don't win a championship for that. Like,
I feel you on that.
It's a regular season game. There's gonna be nights where you're gonna play really good. It's gonna be nights where you're gonna play really bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nights where Dame Lillard again. It's gonna be nights with Dame Lillard. Now what do concern me just a little bit?
Yeah, I was going to talk about what concerned me.
A little bit is we won 3 games and he had to help us out of 2 of those. So that does concern me a little bit, but at the same time, Dame, this is why they got me here. He got the top. Yeah, It's why they got him here. So, I mean, I'm not concerned at all. Yeah. So, people need to relax.
I'm going to talk about one reason why I'm still a little bit concerned and one reason why I'm not at the same time, right? So, the concerning thing is Giannis doesn't look like Giannis right now.
There we go.
And so, the head coach, I think, with it being his first year, obviously you want to give it time. The reason why concerning is it's a first-time head coach.
Yeah.
That's a little... and when I'm watching the game, I don't feel like he's that kind of dog, yet. I think it takes time to become a dog as a head coach, even though he had assistant coaching jobs. And so I was watching a video of the Kings practice, right? Mm-hmm. And Mike Brown was coaching.
Oh, yeah.
He probably seen a video when he started yelling at Malik Monk.
Yeah.
And so he started yelling at Malik Monk and just started going crazy. And I'm like, I don't really see... It's not like you got to have every coach be kind of crazy, but I'm like, you got a team like this. The thing about the Bucks so far, they look kind of soft.
I want my coach to get. I want my coach to get a technical every once in a while.
This team, they look a little soft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I think that's the thing because you got the skill, but first of all, Giannis is being like a monster. He dunk on somebody, he get crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like I haven't really seen them, and it's not like Coach Bud was a dog either. Right. But I feel like this team, you gotta kind of be a dog, and it's a couple of times where they lost. I saw them lose challenges because the players get mad. Hey, we got to challenge this, and then they lose it. And I feel like he kind of you start off kind of being a yes man.
Yeah.
So you start off Giannis had a situation where he asked for them to run it, and you got Giannis coming at you saying, "Hey."
I mean, he trusts. He's trusting
his players, but sometimes you got to just be like. The
same thing that happened just the other game when Giannis didn't want to come out, and he talked to Coach Griffin. Coach Griffin was like, "All right, go back in, Pat, come out."
You got to be able to tell these guys no. I feel like I haven't really seen them at least to let them know, "Hey, I'm in charge." I feel like those LeBron teams. LeBron was the head coach. And I remember you were here afterwards and they LeBron was telling us kind of what to do.
Yeah.
I think right now, I just don't see the dog in him. He looks like a nice guy. He just seems like a nice guy. And I feel like that's the reason why, maybe he got heavily out-rebounded by the Knicks the other night. Right. I feel like we're just kind of soft.
Yeah.
We look a little lost on some stuff.
But I'm not concerned about it because it's rebounding. We didn't we're not rebounding. If we rebound, that game is not as close with the Knicks,
Understandable, but we didn't. So we have the skill to beat the Knicks, and they didn't have R.J. Barrett. Not saying but R.J. Barrett been looking pretty good this year. But the thing is, it's just we looked soft because there'll be times we started getting a lead because of our skill, and then we started letting teams come back because we just soft.
Yeah.
And so I think eventually they're going to figure that out, but I think I think that we have to start realizing that we're soft and we got to start doing something. But the one thing I say is why I'm like, I'm not super concerned is because we're still working in one of our best players. We're still working in Chris Middleton. And he looked good.
He looked good.
He looked good
out there,
against that Knicks game. He looked good. And remember, he's still on a minutes restriction. But he looked good. And he has some good shots for us. And so I'm like, man, I forget that, man. We really playing without one of our best players. So once he starts getting his rhythm back, then we have two guys to close it out. Because as much as I love Giannis, he still has yet to figure out how to be that go-to guy in a late game.
Yeah.
And that's when Dame has to Dame time step it up because Giannis is just not that guy. And that's when Chris Middleton was relied on more. Now, if you have two guys that can close it out, you got Dame, you got Chris Middleton. So you're like, man, I'm nervous. I got two guys I got to worry about. Then if that starts to free things up for Giannis, then it's crazy. Because, like, I kind of don't want that ball in Giannis' hands in those little moments.
At the end of the Knicks game, Chris had the ball. He was coming down, and guess who he passed it to? Dame for the and one. So it's a good point that you just made with both of those. So.
Because it's going to get scary when they start figuring out. Because right now, I need two things from Giannis. I need Giannis to. I know he just had a kid. My wife
rebound.
We need to rebound. He needs to turn back into that. First of all, he needs to go back to playing just strong. I seen him do so many times. He turned around his one leg Dirk fadeaway.
He needs to stop this fadeaway, man.
I kid you not. I love Giannis, but every time I seen him take that shot, he missed. And it wasn't like a close miss. It was like that just don't look comfortable. It looked it had a hitch in it. And I'm like, you got to stop doing that.
I would put something, if I'm Coach Griffin, what I'm doing, if Giannis, any type of jump shot, we got to be up at least 10 for you to shoot a jump shot.
Yeah, he's crazy. He went
that's
3 for 3.
where I'm at with it.
He went 3 for 3 from the the other night. That was crazy.
That's the best and worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
Because if he hit one, he's going to keep shooting. And I think we have to be up at least 10 points for you to shoot a jump shot. Yeah. That's what I would do. That's what I would do if I was Coach Griffin.
Yeah. What I want Giannis is to realize he's the best player on the team. I think right now, it's different. Like, if you don't feel like you're the best player on the team, you kind of lose your identity and you lose your confidence in a sense. And I think that's what it is because think about it. Right now, he's averaging 24 points per game, right?
Yeah.
Last year, he averaged like 31 point something.
Yeah.
And
he's just not in the group right now.
Yeah,
he's not in the group.
The thing is, he knew he was the best player on the team. I think when you feel like, all right, I can do whatever, I'm the best person on the court, you walk different, right? And when you feel like you're the number two, like even on the pick and roll, I seen him do a couple of times on the pick and roll. He kind of traveled, like he'd do something and he'd pass it, like Dame would like kind of slip it to him, and then he'll look a little off with it, and it's just like it's a different kind of it's a different way you move when you're not the best player. Like you feel. It's
two things I need Giannis to do: is rebound, and set picks for Dame Lillard. Why do I not see?
He gotta remember he's the best player on the team,
but he can still go set a pick.
Yeah,
set a pick and rebound. That's the two things that we need y'all to do. At the end of the first half, Dame Lillard had the ball right at the top of the key, by the logo. Nobody came and set him a pick.
Yeah, and he got up like he's traveled or something like that. He tried to get a pump fake and it just didn't work.
Like, yes, he's Dame, but go make it easier on him. Go set a pick. Should be, man, basketball is not hard, especially when you got two of the top 10 players, which I think the top 10, Dame and Giannis. Like, you got two top. Go make it easy. If Dame has the ball, go set a pick.
It comes with Giannis remembering he's the best person on the team. Trust me. Because right now he's like, oh, this is Dame's team. Like, when you start to take a step back, your play style starts to take a step back because now you feel a little bit more nervous. And I know what it's like. Like, when I'm in a gym and I'm playing on a team and I'm the best person on the team, it's different. Like, I move different. I feel different. When I'm not the best person on the team, I feel a little, even if I have the skill and I should be the best person, I move different when it's somebody that I look at as better than me. Yeah. I start to move a little bit different. Sure. And Giannis is moving a little bit different, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, he got to go back to being like dominant.
Speaking of you saying him needing to be the top player,
he has to.
Who's your top player for the week?
My top player for the week. So I got my week's winners and my week's loser right now.
Yeah.
So my winner team, I'm going to start off with my team, who I think is the winner.
Your winner team.
My winner team for the week I'm gonna give it to the Atlanta Hawks. I'm gonna give it to the Atlanta Hawks. They got a 4-2 record, but remember, I'm not doing this about who's the best team in the league. It's about the team that impressed me. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and I think they have the largest win-loss margin of the week. Like, they blew out every team that they played that in this 4-game winning streak. They blew all those teams. Like, they blew out the Bucks. Who else they played? They had somebody, and somebody was beating them, and they ended up blowing them out.
T-Wolves. I think they played the T-Wolves.
T-Wolves, they were down by like 19 at the half, and ended up winning by 14.
T-Wolves, yeah.
And so, like, I'm gonna give them credit because the reason why I'm saying they my team, my winners of the week, is because you don't expect the Hawks to do what they did. So it's easy to say the Nuggets. It's easy to say the Celtics because you expect the Celtics to be where they are. You expect the Nuggets to be where they are.
Fair.
Nobody expected the Hawks to go on a 4-game winning streak, blowing their teams out.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel like that's my team of the week, my winners of the week. And my player of the week, it's easy to go with Jokic. It's easy to go with Donovan Mitchell. It's easy to go with Curry, Luka. It's easy to go with those guys.
Yeah.
But my winner of the week is actually Kelly Oubre.
What?
Look, there's a reason why, right? Kelly Oubre.
Come on,
because
dog.
What did Kelly Oubre do last year? Like, he had a silent last year. I'm impressed because he's new to the team. Look,
man.
He's new to the team,
you
right?
You said Tyler Hero and now Kelly Oubre.
He's new to the team. Man. This is why I'm the voice of the people. Like, he's new to the team, right?
Yeah.
And he's actually doing great. Like, he's actually doing great. He's fitting. You know how hard it is to get traded from a team and to go and perform. Like, he's actually doing great. Like, that's why I'm impressed because I'm in the first game when they played the Bucks.
He killed the Bucks.
And he killed us. And we were like, what is he? What? And then he still kept having great games. And I think they need him to be that guy. They need him to be that guy for them to do well. Like, they got guys like Maxey stepping up. They got, because you got to be able to help a guy that's like who won MVP last year. If you can help out, and I'm like, he's shooting phenomenal. Like, he's doing great. And so that's why he's my winner of the week, because I'm going with non-obvious choices. Like, Donovan Mitchell had a great week. I had him written down. Lucas is leading the league in scoring, so I had him written down.
Yeah.
Curry's doing an amazing thing. They're 5-1, so I had him written down. But I was like, I want to go with a kind of sleeper, somebody that you didn't expect to kind of have a start like they did. And I didn't expect, out of all those people, I expected all those people to have starts like they did. Yeah. I did not expect to see Kelly Oubre have the start that he did. So
that's a good sleeper pick.
It's a sleeper pick.
Sleeper pick. That's a good sleeper pick because Kelly Oubre has been balling. I know he killed the Bucks, and then he kept it going.
Yeah,
he did keep it going.
That's why I'm gonna roll with him. And I don't really even like Kelly Oubre like that. He's kind of I can't stand the light skin tendencies of that man. Like this,
so it hurt. Blowing kisses.
Yeah, doing like that's something like man. But I'm actually, because I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
Yeah. No, that's a good sleeper pick. But I think you overthought this. I think the team of the week is the Celtics. The Celtics are still undefeated. So I mean, how do you argue
that's
with
a casual
team
pick right there?
Yeah, how do you argue with a team that hasn't lost? You can't argue with a team that hasn't lost. Now, Sixers, what are they? 4-1, 5-1?
I'm talking about the Hawks. Mine was the Hawks.
Or I was talking about Oubre, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like your top player. But I mean, the Celtics is an easy pick.
Easy pick.
I think
that's a casual.
Listen,
somebody that don't watch basketball, like, dude, you watch basketball that much? you say it's like you watch it, but you're not crazy.
Yeah,
it's easy to go with a team that's 5-0. It's easy to go with a team.
Yes, it's not that difficult. Listen. Basketball
You're not trying to think,
is
man.
Simple. Basketball is simple. It's not that difficult. The Celtics. And
that's an easy one. I'll give you that.
And my player is Jason Tatum. It's not that difficult. Listen, the best team that's undefeated and the best player on that team. It's simple.
That's not a wrong answer. I'll give that to you.
It's simple.
I'll give it to you. I like your answer just because it's a very true statement.
Yeah, but check me out.
They look good.
But check me out. Tatum is averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, and looks like 3 assists.
That's great.
While shooting 55% from the field, 45 from 3. And the Celtics are undefeated. It's not that difficult. I think you made it a little bit more difficult than what it is. Those
trying
are
to
good
have fun.
picks. Those
I'm
are
having
good
fun with
picks. Listen, those are good picks.
I'm shouting out the
But-
people that don't get shouted out.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're the voice of the people.
I'm shouting
You're
out the
voice
people
of
that don't get shouted out.
But
like,
it's not that. It's not the best. The only undefeated team and the best player on that team.
see, if you want answers
It's
like that, you
simple.
just go to
It's
ESPN.
simple.
You go to ESPN. You go to Sports Center. That's where you get that kind of information. If you
it's-
want the
it's-
truth,
it's-
you want
it's
the
simple.
real. You want the. It's a difference because these guys don't get mentioned on ESPN. Remember, I'm the voice of the people, so I speak for the
Celtics get
people
mentioned
that
on
don't.
No, the Celtics get mentioned.
They get
on
mentioned.
that.
The Hawks not getting mentioned.
No,
Kelly
the
Oubre
Hawks
not getting mentioned.
But it's the reason
I'm
why the
speaking
Hawks
out.
not getting mentioned because
They
they're
blowing
not
teams
gonna be
out.
good. But it was just a week.
Yeah, it's
Those
for
are
this
good-
week.
good
4-0. They went
So who's
undefeated
your-
this week the same way your team
So
went
who-
undefeated this week.
No, my team. The team that I'm picking is undefeated overall.
Well, you said player of the week.
right.
So
You're
this
true.
week they
That's
were
true.
undefeated.
You're right.
The same way your people were
You're right.
undefeated. They both went 4-0 in the week.
You're right. So who are you gonna pick to win the game? Your team went 4-0. My team went 4-0. Who's the best player between those two teams?
Oh, you gotta easily go with the Celtics because they have a better roster.
Exactly my
The
point.
Hawks don't have the best
Exactly my
roster,
point.
and they still put out a 4-0 week.
Listen,
They don't have a roster as good as the Timberwolves, so they blow them out.
Underdog, but it doesn't take away that we got big dogs here.
But look who the Hawks beat. Do they have a better record? I mean, better roster than the Timberwolves? No. Because
Okay,
I think
I give you
Anthony
that
Edwards
one.
is better than Trae Young,
Yes.
and I think Cat is better than any second. He's better than DeJounte, who's their second best
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
So I think
Which he scored
on paper,
50-point game this past
he had a
week?
great game. I can't
He
remember
had
how
a
much
good
it was,
game.
but he had a
really
good game.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The Bucks, obviously, they're still trying to find their rhythm, but they blew out the Bucks, and I think it was in Milwaukee. Came in and blew them out. So I'm gonna give the Hawks some
matter.
credit. I'm gonna give them some
I'm
credit
not saying not
because
to give them
ESPN
credit.
not, Sports Center not, and so remember, like I'm gonna give.
Listen,
I'm
you go
gonna
ahead,
shout
do
out
your
for the
thing,
little man.
Listen, I'm
I'ma shout out
for
for
the
the man.
underdog too, but when you got a big dog in there, I'm not always gonna pick that underdog. So, but the Hawks that's a good pick, and I think Kelly Oubre is a good
Yeah,
pick.
I'm not going with the best
But
team. I'm going with just my winner of the week. My winner because I'm gonna give them their flowers
I didn't
because
think it- yeah, I
they
didn't
probably
think
won't have another 4-0 week. So I'm gonna give it to them now.
Right, give it to him now.
I expect the Celtics to do what they're
Just
doing.
because you expect it doesn't. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
The Bucks are supposed to be 5-0 right now. They're
who
not
stopped
doing
them?
what they're supposed to do.
Who stopped them from being 5-0?
They're not doing
Who
what
gave
they're
them their
supposed
first
to
loss
do.
to the season? Who gave the Bucks the first loss of the season? The Atlanta Hawks.
Yes, the Atlanta Hawks did it.
I rest my
It has
case.
nothing to do
I
with
rest my
anything.
case.
It has nothing to do with anything.
They came and beat them in Milwaukee.
But the Celtics, okay, you're talking about you're talking about the Bucks. I'm talking about the Celtics.
I give you that.
The Celtics are still undefeated. They don't look the best. I think the Nuggets look the best. But I mean,
No,
I'm just saying
I don't think the Nuggets look
week.
the best. I think the Celtics look
I'm
the
saying
best.
I'm saying the whole week. It's the Celtics, man.
They're
It's
the best
not
starting
that
lineup.
difficult. I think you did some digging. You did your homework. I'm proud of you, man.
You want easy answers? Go to E ESPN.
I'm proud of you. But this one wasn't that hard. Now these next ones.
All right.
These next
losers
ones,
of the week?
The losers of the
Now
week.
you go first on this one.
Okay, I'll go
first on the
first
winners,
on this
You go
one.
first on the losers.
This one again, the not team of the week. This is another easy one. The Grizzlies. They're 0-5. They don't got their best player, but come on. You still should be able to win a game. Like, you got Desmond Bane over there. You got Defensive Player of the Year over there. You got Marcus Smart that can
crazy.
play some defense. It kind of stops there. But y'all should still win the game.
You're right.
Your record is 0-5. Y'all should win. And you played the Trailblazers just
And
yesterday.
they were winning too.
And they were winning, and the
they
Blazers
ended up losing
came
that game.
back.
I was
So no
surprised.
excuse. You should have at least one win. That's an easy one. And then you got
Who's the bum of the week? Who's
the bum of
loser
the week is LaMelo Ball.
Oh, I had him written down, but I went with somebody else.
Listen,
I went
LaMelo
with
Ball.
somebody
He
else.
just don't look like
He
he
look
wants to play
wild,
play
bro.
basketball.
He looks wild.
I was watching him play the other day, and he was just like
He
he's
is
just going through the
trash.
motions. It don't matter
He is
like if his team
trash.
winning or not. I don't know. LeVar need to come and say something to the boy because
Yeah.
he's not doing anything.
I had
LeVar, go talk to that boy LaMelo because he over there.
Get him
He's
right.
not doing anything.
Gotta get him right.
I don't know what LaMelo doing over there. I think one game he didn't even score double digits, and I was just
He
like,
shot like 4 for
this
17.
dude, and check me out. He's averaging 9 less, almost double digit less points than he did last year.
I got somebody worse.
What are you doing?
I got somebody worse.
What
bro.
are you? I know you're on the bum team, but if you're on the bum team,
That's when you should be putting up numbers.
you should be putting up numbers.
Yeah.
You should be putting up numbers. -9 in the points here. Come on, man. We know
Yeah, that's
LaMelo
kinda
can score the ball. This dude, man, come on. He looked uninterested. Now he did lock up Tyrese for the game point yesterday, but that's one.
I hated that because I like Tyrese. I like LaMelo, but I was kind of mad. I was hoping the Pacers won that game.
Yeah, I wasn't hoping Pacers won that game.
I was hoping the Pacers won.
Yeah, LaMelo, he did lock him up, and then he got happy, and it's just like, but you're not really like playing to your potential.
Not at all.
Now there was a runner-up that I had. And
It's probably gonna be mine. Don't even say it.
Okay,
let me say
do your thing.
Let me say
go
mine.
Ahead, do your thing.
And then we're gonna see if we got the same
Yep,
runner
go
up.
ahead, do
Because
your thing.
LaMelo was my runner up.
Yeah.
All right, and I just had to make a decision. So first, my losing team, my losers of the week, the bums of the week, the team is the Washington Wizards. I gotta go with the Wizards for the simple fact they just look crazy, bro. Like I'm watching their game. Like Jordan Poole looked like. I saw something funny. It was like Kuzma and Poole got rings, so now they just don't care. They said we got rings, so we just having fun now, bro. That team, even though they got one win and then the Grizzlies don't have a win at all, bro. That team looks like they're playing at LA Fitness or 24-hour Fitness.
The YMCA.
They look like a wreck team, bro.
Yeah.
They just go out there, they just doing stuff. The reason why they the losers of the week is because, bro, they were down by like 20, and I seen Poole throw it off the backboard to Kuzma.
Right.
Down
Hey, but
20.
the girls was in the crowd. That's why he did that. The chicks was in the crowd. The baddies was in the crowd. So that's why he did that.
Bro, losing by 20 and on a fast break, throwing it off the
Hey, they
backboard
booed him for that too.
is wow, bro.
I think that was against the Hawks. They booed
That's
him for
wow. I never seen something like that. Like,
That's crazy.
bro, you might as well just go get your bucket and then leave. Like, throwing it off the backboard down 20 is a quick way to get you as the bum of the week. Like, that's wow. That's bum behavior right there. That's wild behavior. Like, that's something like, that's nasty.
Yeah.
And then my trash player of the week is Julius Randle, bro. Julius Randle is the trash man of the week, bro.
That's an obvious choice, though.
Nah, the same way LaMelo is an obvious choice.
No, that's a casual choice. That's a casual.
Nah, it's a reason why, right?
It's a casual.
This is the reason why, right? First of all, he's putting up bum numbers. And his drop-off, I think, is actually worse than LaMelo's drop-off in points per game. And they shooting like the same 7% from the field, right?
I'm glad you made this simple because it's simple.
There's a reason why. They played the Bucks on Friday night in that play-in in-season tournament game, right? Mm-hmm. And Julius Randle was doing what he does best this year, stinking up the place. And they were down by like 3 or something like that in the fourth. And Brunson had like 40 plus that game. I think at this moment he had like 45. And so he's killing what I think Julius Randle had like some. I'm not even going to pull it up because I don't even want to look at it. I'm just going to, like, those numbers going to make my eyes hurt. So I'm not even going to pull them up. I just want to say he played like a bum. And so Julius Randle has Dame on him, who's not a great defender. And he get him in like the mid kind of post, doesn't move, turns and missed the shot. I mean, he had to shoot it, right? Because Julius Randle playing like a bum. And they showed Julius, and he put his hands up like, what are you doing, Julius? I mean, what are you doing, Jalen? And I'm like, you got some nerve, bro. This man has 45 points. I want him taking every shot, and he's the reason why they came back. He even hit the shot to put him up 2 before Dame came down and hit the shot to put him back up 1.
Yep.
He is killing, and he shot a shot on Dame, which I'm like, I'll take the one-on-one on him every time, especially when you got 45. And Julius said, like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
And then he came back, he walked down the court like this, and it allowed for like Chris Middleton to kind of pass it to Dame, and Dame had that cut to the basket because he didn't even get back on defense because he was complaining about the shot that Jalen Brunson took. If bro has 45 and you have like 10,
let him cook.
Let him shoot. You get mad at him for missing when you've been bricking it up all night, pause, That was wild. You get mad at him for that, and then you walk back on defense, and you allow them to get a fast break layup to kind of put them back up.
Yeah.
And so all that is just nasty work. So he's my trash player of the week off of the way he's been playing, but off of that game alone, just solidify him over LaMelo.
Yeah. See, I was gonna go with Anthony Edwards. Now listen, I felt as though I felt as though I was being too hard on him because he's averaging like 26 points right now, I think, which ain't bad at all.
Now this is crazy. Before you even get into it, real quick, you try to come at me for going and digging deep. What you doing right now to Anthony Edwards, he's not having a bad year, but you would expect it more, so you're giving him that. The same way I expected less for the Hawks, and they rose above the occasion, so I gave them that. So if we looking inside the lines, is what you doing right now. You looking inside the lines. That's what I did.
We going backwards or we
this
going
is
forward?
Why we 94 feet, because
we
not obvious, right? This is what we do. This is what we do right here. All right, I'm with you on this.
What you said.
I'm with you on this.
But Anthony Edwards, right?
Yeah.
He's averaging 26 points.
He
should be up over 30.
Yeah, I thought he's going to have a crazy year by the way he looked in FIBA. He looks like he want to turn into that dog.
Yeah. But he's averaging 26, which ain't bad at all. Mm-hmm. But I need him at least scoring 30 points. At least 30 points. He has all the tools to do it. And he's willing to guard the other. Yeah, that's who the other person that I had.
That's crazy because I had the Timberwolves as my behind the Wizards. I had them as because I expected more from them. So that's kind of crazy. We on the same.
They need to be.
We on the same page on this.
They need to be better.
They need to be better.
So who do you think the most overrated person in the league is?
Most overrated person in the league, man. It's a lot of bums, man. Most overrated. Man.
Don't worry, I got you.
I probably got to go AD.
Okay.
I got to go AD, most overrated.
He was my runner-up.
They got blown out by the Magic last night.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why I think he's the most overrated is because he still won't be the number one guy on that Lakers team like Bron needs him to be. Bron is about to be 39 next month.
Yeah.
And he wants to hand him the team. Like, he wants to hand it to him, and AD just keep moving out the way. Like, I don't want to take it. And I find that crazy, bro, that you got to have 39. We're going to call him 39. We got 39-year-old Bron still having to play 39 minutes.
Yeah, that's
wow, bro. Why do you keep relying on a 39-year-old man to keep playing 39 minutes?
I'm with you on that one. I think AD is I think AD is.
That's
I don't
insane
know,
to
man.
me.
He's just not as good as everybody say he is to me. And he was top 10 on the ESPN list, which is crazy.
I think that's wild.
But let me tell you who I had was overrated. So the overrated person that I had.
No, I'm kidding. I just got to mess with you.
Yeah, you know Shea ain't overrated. Shea puts
I just messed with you because that was your MVP.
SGA put in work.
He's not looking like an MVP right now over my MVP choice. But what you got?
Don't matter. I'm trying to tell you, it's a long season. Don't talk about 6% of the season. Don't talk about 6%.
You know, I just got to throw my little jab.
Yeah, no problem. I got Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram is always hurt. Everybody says he's just some magical scorer, which he can score the ball. But the best ability is availability.
Yeah, exactly. The best ability.
And everybody always say he's just so good. And you see flashes of it, but I just don't see it, man.
The reason why I agree and disagree with that is because, like you said, availability is the best ability. So that's my knock against him. Mm-hmm. But when he is available, he'll light up your favorite player. He's the reason why the Pelicans can go far, and he's the reason why they can't. Like, everybody wants to say it's Zion. I think it's Ingram.
Ingram is the reason why the Pelicans is never going to go anywhere.
He's how far can they go? And I think it's Ingram and not Zion. Like, Zion is the obvious.
Yeah.
But it's only how far Ingram will actually take him.
Yeah. Now, you're going to like my underrated pick. The most underrated person. You're going to like this. You're going to like this. It's Trae Young. Trae Young is probably the most he is the most underrated player. Because did you know in his second season he averaged 30 points?
Yeah.
I didn't know in the second season he averaged 30
He almost
points.
averaged 10 assists that year too.
Yeah, almost averaged 10 assists that year. And check me out though. Mm-hmm. Every year he's averaged 9 or 10 assists. Yeah. Since he's been in the league, right? 2 years ago, he took the Bucks or he took his team to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks.
And they won like 2 games that series.
They
too.
won 2 games.
They won game 1 and game 4 or something
and
like that.
this is what I'm saying. Like, nobody's really talking about Trae Young. And I think one of the reasons why they're not talking about Trae Young is because and what he did to your Knicks was something dirty.
Yeah, I'm from New York, but I'm not a Knicks man. I'm not.
I wouldn't want to be a Knicks fan either. Because listen, when he went in there and he just he literally destroyed that whole team, that whole series.
They were saying something wild about him too. They
and
couldn't stand Trae Young.
Once you see Trae Young, he's never in any of the top. He's not even in the top 20 players. He's not in the top 25. Like, I think he get disrespected a lot. So he's definitely underrated.
I had him on there because I'm really grown into a Tyrese Halliburton fan, and this doesn't help that he had a crazy night last night at a 43-13 game. But they had him ranked over. They had Tyrese. I love Tyrese, and this is going back just to Trae Young, so I'm not trying to get off subject. But they had him ranked over Trae Young, and I thought that was kind of wild because I was like, man, what Trae Young has done so far. I love Tyrese. But he hasn't even made the playoffs. And so I'm like, to play him over Trae, he's having a better year. So, then it looks good because they're like, yeah, I think he's better. And then he's having a better year. But I'm like, man, to do that so fast and put him ranked higher than Trae Young, I thought that was kind of wild.
Yeah.
They even had Tyrese ranked over De'Aaron Fox. I thought that was wild, too.
They had, on
that list, bro,
they do that to get your blood.
I was like, over
they do that to get your blood.
I love Tyrese, but over Fox?
That's crazy.
Over Swiper, I think it's kind of wow.
That's crazy.
And so I think that's kind of crazy. Now, sleeper player, underrated player for me, that's a tough one to go with, man, because I feel like there's a lot of guys that's good. But honestly, I got to go with it. I got to go with De'Aaron Fox. Just for the simple fact that they put him.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm going to say he's underrated is because they put him behind Tyrese. And I love Tyrese, but they put him behind him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of wild. They put him behind him. They put him behind a lot of guys that I think he should have been in front of for the simple fact that, De'Aaron Fox is a dog, bro.
That dude can ball.
He is a dog. And I'm like.
That dude can ball.
He helped that team make the playoffs last year. Him and Sabonis, I like that combination.
Yeah. And
I think they're just getting started. That whole the beam movement. He started a movement that even in the first couple years he was there, they couldn't get anywhere. But I feel like just to put him where he's at behind Tyrese already puts him at he's underrated.
Right.
He's underrated. I just think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Fox can ball, man.
Fox can ball.
Yeah, and the Kings. The Kings gonna do something nice, man. They're gonna do something nice.
Yeah, so that's why I think
this
is underrated.
Well, that concludes episode 2 of 94 Feet. Come back next episode. You know we're gonna talk about some more stuff.
Yep.
The people's champ right here, self-proclaimed though. Self-proclaimed,
voice of the people, the legend in the flesh.
Yeah. You don't want to give them your social security number? Yeah.
Nah, not the social, but man, stay tuned. Obviously, I'm the voice of the people. It's gonna be a fire next episode. I got a lot of things I want to talk about. It's already hard to try to squeeze everything I want to say into this episode, but man, because I know y'all be looking, I know y'all be ready for what I got to say because I always speak the truth. It's always you already know it's gonna be something but facts. So I hate to say it you gotta wait a week, but next week's gonna be another fire one.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes episode 2. See you episode 3.